I never thought a casual dinner could turn into a revelation about the limits of trust and loyalty. It started like any other Friday evening. I had agreed to meet my colleague Laura for drinks at a small downtown bar. Nothing more than a friendly catch-up, or so I thought. My wife Sarah was at home, enjoying a quiet evening with her latest painting project, completely unaware of the small storm I was about to walk into. Laura was bubbly, the kind of person whose laugh could fill the room before she even said a word. Over the years we had shared stories, office frustrations and occasional jokes, but boundaries had always existed. Until tonight. As soon as I sat down and ordered a drink, she leaned in and said, smiling conspiratorially, "Don't let your husband stop you from finding love." I froze for a moment, unsure if I had heard her correctly. Then a slow smile crept across my face. "Funny," I said lightly. "I already have a wife." My voice was calm, but internally the gears were spinning. Laura laughed, brushing it off like a harmless joke, but the tension in the air told a different story. The bartender brought our drinks, and I took a careful sip, letting the initial shock settle. I watched her closely, noticing little tells I had never paid attention to before. The way her eyes flicked when she mentioned love, the slight hesitation before her laughter, the way her fingers traced the rim of the glass as if seeking some sort of reassurance. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but to someone who spent years observing people it was significant. I thought about Sarah. About our years together, the laughter and the quiet nights. The way she had supported me through late work hours, health scares, and my own moments of doubt. Loyalty wasn't just a word in our marriage, it was the backbone. And tonight, without even intending to, someone had tried to test it. Laura, still oblivious to the depth of my awareness, continued talking about her recent dating woes, her exes, and how sometimes men were too blind to see what was right in front of them. Every word was a challenge wrapped in casual chatter. Every laugh a test of boundaries. I didn't interrupt. I didn't raise my voice. I simply listened, letting her think she was in control, while quietly measuring every move, every inflection. By the time our conversation ended, I had made my decision. Some lessons aren't taught through anger. They're learned through subtle reminders, through demonstration of what loyalty and commitment truly mean. And I had just set the stage for the most unexpected reminder of all. The next morning I returned home, still thinking about Laura's careless joke. Sarah greeted me with her usual warmth, completely unaware of the invisible line that had been tested the night before. I kissed her on the forehead and smiled, letting her know without words that our marriage was intact and unshakable. Some people think loyalty is passive. It isn't. It's a quiet, active choice, and every action reinforces it. A few days later, Laura called. Her tone was lighter than usual, almost flirty, brushing past professional boundaries with casual ease. She mentioned an after-work party and, without hesitation, asked if I would join her. The invitation hung in the air like a thin thread, tempting and fragile at the same time. Most men would have wavered. Most men would have stumbled, if only slightly. But I had made a choice the night before, and choices have a way of defining you more than words ever could. At the party, Laura was at her charming best. She flirted openly with me, laughed at jokes I didn't even make, and tried to draw attention with every movement. I observed, calm and measured, letting her believe she was leading the dance, while I stayed anchored in the reality of my life. The energy in the room shifted with every glance she threw my way. Others noticed it, too, the way she tried to isolate me from my colleagues, trying to lure me into some imagined world where boundaries didn't exist. But then Sarah's voice appeared in my mind, clear and unwavering, reminding me of years spent building a life that no fleeting amusement could destroy. I thought about the late nights she had stayed up listening to my problems, the mornings she had left early to ensure I was prepared for my day, the countless moments of small, unnoticed care that accumulated into the foundation of our trust. And suddenly Laura's laughter seemed smaller, less confident, like a gust of wind against a brick wall. By the end of the night, I had politely excused myself, not out of anger, but to demonstrate the quiet strength of a man who knows where he belongs. Laura waved goodbye, still smiling, unaware that she had just learned a lesson she hadn't even realized she was about to face. The real power of loyalty, I thought, isn't about confrontation. It's about unwavering presence, about showing without shouting, proving without proving anything at all. And sometimes the most impactful reminders are subtle, almost invisible to the untrained eye. That night, as I drove home to Sarah, I knew one thing with absolute clarity. Some tests are inevitable, but some victories are silent, and those are the ones that matter most. The following week, Sarah surprised me by inviting me to a small gallery opening she had been excited about for months. I arrived, and the warm light of the space seemed to reflect her energy. Steady, calm, and unshakable. As we walked through the exhibition, I noticed how effortlessly she commanded the room with her presence, how people gravitated toward her without even realizing it. That same steadiness, I realized, was the foundation of everything between us. Later, Laura appeared at the gallery, unannounced, and I felt the tension rise like a storm on the horizon. She approached us, her smile bright but her eyes betraying a hint of unease. "Mark, I didn't expect to see you here," she said, laughter in her tone, attempting to bridge the space that now felt unbridgeable. I smiled politely, introducing her to Sarah with a calm and measured confidence that immediately shifted the dynamics. The moment Sarah's gaze met mine, I saw the unspoken understanding between us. A bond forged over years of trust and countless small choices that no outside force could unravel. Laura's attempt to charm, to manipulate, to recreate that casual dinner dynamic fell flat. Sarah spoke with gentle authority, sharing her insights about the art pieces, her humor and wit filling the spaces where tension might have lingered. Laura tried subtly to interject, to regain control, but every gesture, every comment, was countered by the effortless grace of someone who knew exactly where she belonged. By the end of the evening, Laura excused herself, leaving with a polite smile, and it was over before it had truly begun. The lesson was clear. Fleeting temptation could never outshine years of genuine connection. Later that night, back at home, Sarah and I sat together on the couch, our hands intertwined, our conversation soft but filled with laughter. No words were needed to affirm what we already knew. Loyalty, commitment, and love are not just spoken. They are lived every day. And in that quiet moment, I understood the most important truth of all. Life will always test you, in small ways and large, with choices that seem trivial but carry immense weight. What defines a relationship isn't a single decision. It's the accumulation of countless small, conscious choices. Some tests are meant to tempt, others to frighten, but all are opportunities to prove who you are, and who you belong with. And as I looked at Sarah smiling softly, I knew with complete certainty. My heart, my loyalty, and my life were already spoken for.